Okay, guys, well, we are back with our Rising Stars Zoom tonight, and we are going to move forward a little bit. We're going to talk about the lead magnets that we started last week and had a great Zoom earlier today with Toby. We got Toby set up to do her own health assessment through Google because she had been using my link and people were answering a few, I think, on mine. So I think we got that handled. That's really good. But we wanted to talk to you a little bit more about how you can use these and start the conversations because remember, if you have no leads, you have no business. I also want to give a really big shout out to Veronica. Veronica has been doing a lot of face-to-face interactions, and that's one reason why she's had so many signups, you guys. I asked her, I said, so what's your secret? And so Veronica, why don't you unmute and tell us what you told me?
Well, what I decided to do last weekend was just go out and have dinner and lunch with friends and just actually connect with them face to face and then talk about the business there. Even though they were doing something else and were not interested at the time, I went ahead and had them add their friends and tell them to talk to their friends about it just in case they were interested. So that's what they did, and that's how I got those leads.
Yep. So you've been having people add to the testimonial pages. So we tell you to do that every single day. That's one of our IPAs. It's one of the things that we do during power hours is you add friends on your social media and then you add friend or invite people to the testimony pages. But you can also do exactly what Veronica did. Most people know at least 2,000 people by name, first name. Like if you're just out and about and you're walking around at the fair or whatever, you see people and you know them and you actually know them. And you may not remember their name that minute because a lot of people are good with faces and not names. But if you will ask them and then and there, oh my gosh, make sure you send me a message on Facebook or let's take a picture. Let's take a picture together. And then text it to them or say, hey, let's take a picture together and I'll text it to you, right? Then you can look them up and have them, or I'll Facebook message you, right? Then you know who they are, right? Association. But then you get to be in those networks. And sometimes it's the network of the network that's going to get you to your goal. I mean, not sometimes, honestly, most of the time, right? So make sure that you're doing those on a day-to-day basis. Way to go, Veronica. So, anyone else? I think Deanna, are you giving her a thumbs up or you have a question?
I was waving at Zeb.
Oh, that's funny. We need super glue. I don't know where it needs
You
at.
took it out of my truck, didn't you?
Oh yeah. But I don't remember where I put it. I think it's in the cup holders of one of the vehicles. Super glue. He might need it to fix stitches. Who knows? So, all right. So we're gonna kind of jump into continuing helping you guys with really taking it up to the next level. And I will tell you how much I appreciate Andra. She actually had a good conversation with me today because you guys, Andra has had 3 enrollments with partners this month, 8 enrollments total, I believe, or maybe 8 plus 3. I can't remember. Oh, you have to unmute, Andra.
I just looked and I now have 12. I don't know
You
what happened.
see, so 12 enrollments total, y'all.
Well, I enrolled a partner today with an advanced.
Yay.
That was my 12th. So yeah, 4 partners. Yep.
And she's still continuing to work on her all of her stuff with her Founders Club. And so I'm just really grateful to have her as somebody who I collaborate with and talk to. And so she actually helped me with some ideas for my business because I'm working on getting partners this month. So I appreciate you so much, Andra. Thank you for sharing these ideas. And I'll kind of let you jump in and share with us about stuff tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think the collaboration is huge. So I was just really curious. You guys can just raise your hands who's got a lead magnet, because it didn't have to be the health assessment. It could have been a recipe. It could have been anything. So just a real quick check-in. So I get most hands. I think Tracy's off and Regina's coming back. So that was the first step, right? Was just to actually create the lead magnet. I'm curious, and you guys can throw it in the chat so you can unmute. We heard from Veronica. We know Toby's gotten some leads. I know Shauna had the same thing happening, and she had people that did fill out her assessment as well. And so then she was able to start talking. That's what we're going to talk about next, is like, well, what do you do with all of that stuff? So who has gone to the next step already and started to talk with the person that filled out their health assessment or raise their hand for your lead magnet? So who has started that already and started those conversations? Melissa has, Regina has,
Yeah.
Dina. Hey, Regina, tell us a little bit. What what happened with your lead magnet? Because this is not like me telling you guys. We want to hear how's it going. So
Well,
tell us the story.
actually, it's I have two. One filled out the health assessment today. We're supposed to actually talk on a Friday because she's not available throughout the week. With her work. I said, if you have any questions, I mean, we're messaging, but it's nothing in any depth yet. And then the one young lady, let me look back here, her name.
So just to be clear, you've made
Yes,
an appointment
Yes, ma'am.
for Friday to continue the conversation. I want you guys to like write that down. We've all got to become better appointment makers.
Yes.
If you're not making appointments, that's something, I mean, this is something when I say we, I'm right in there with you. I was watching Crystal's training today and I loved what she said, you know, we're growing together, we're learning together. So making appointments, it's something that we all need to do.
Yes,
So you did
because
that, and then you
I'm-
have another gal that you were talking about.
yes, she filled out part of it, but she didn't finish. She was supposed to have been off of work on Sunday and we were going to meet after church, but something happened with her kids. So we haven't gotten to meet in person yet, and she doesn't do so much on Messenger.
Okay, so the appointment follow-up is really, really important, right? So she's got a busy life. She might not be able to meet in person. You might want to offer to do a phone call,
Phone call,
right?
yes.
So even if she can't do messenger video chat, you can find out if she has an iPhone, she can do FaceTime or just over the phone, right? Just having that conversation. So you're on the right track. Melissa
you.
said she put her health assessment. She's able to now make a recommendation. And then, yeah, she and I talked about brainstorming around following up today. So we'll weave that in tonight. Who did something that wasn't a health assessment, a different kind of lead magnet, because that's where we're headed. Dina, what did you do? How are you using it? What's the conversation like now?
So I did snack ideas and recipes. And so I used Canva to create, I had a couple snacks that were just really simple that I was really enjoying. And so I took a picture of them as I made them, and then I just made it with my branding with it. And so then I gave them a couple of tips of additional add-ins they could put in. And one of them, they were savory snacks. So one of it was cottage cheese with sunflower seeds and dried edamame. And I told them they could mix unflavored collagen in to get a little bit of a boost to their protein and help. And that if they were were interested in knowing about the one I use, to let me know. And then I also put that tip to mix in with the hummus for the other snack that I had, just so that they're using some products. But what I did is I just said, thank you for your comment on my post. I'm so glad you're healthy snacking. I love having options that keep me on track for my goals. What health goals are you working towards right now? And so then I dropped those recipes. So I figured I'm getting a conversation started about what they're working on, but then I'm also letting them know I have tools and resources that they could use as well.
I love that. So if you guys are taking notes, I want you to write down that she asked a question that was not weird. That was not spammy. They're obviously wanting healthy snacks. So they obviously have a health goal. So it makes sense to say, hey, this is what I use. This is what I like. I'm curious. What kind of health goals do you have? What are you working on? And it may not go anywhere, but she's already, so we've had other trainings where we've heard people talk about like ripping off the Band-Aid, which I always think is so painful. She didn't have to rip any Band-Aid off at all. That wasn't painful. That was just part of the conversation. They're on the same track. They like the same things. So that's what we want to talk about for what are these next steps to follow up. So with your health assessment, it's great because the pain points are all laid out there for you. So step one is you want to look at their results and you want to look for what are their pain points. Well, sometimes there's just so many on there that we have to help them narrow down and figure out what is their highest priority. What is their most important pain point? And I don't know if I'd use the word pain point. How I do that with my conversations is I will say, hey, I noticed that you marked down you'd like to lose blank number of pounds and you're struggling with blank and blank. I can totally relate to that. I was in the same position as you when I first started at 51 years old. But I'm just curious for you, out of the things that you shared with me, what right now is the most important goal for you? And a lot of times they'll say weight loss. And then I could just go right into my fast chat and I can start through the conversation. Well, we have lots of reasons, what's your goal for weight loss? You said that you wanted to lose 50 pounds. Do you kind of have a timeline? I love this question. Do you have a special event? Do you have, has the doctor been telling you that you needed to lose that weight? Or is this just something that you've been trying to work towards? And then you can find out a little bit more about them. You can figure out what their motivation is, right? So it's really asking these questions to dig into more about their pain points. What have you tried? What has worked for you? What hasn't worked for you? This is where you can then move into scheduling a call or continuing the chat. And this is in Melissa's board already. I've been just kind of trying it out where I just ask the question, hey, would you like to continue to talk in here? Or would it be easier for us to hop on the phone? Because I'm happy to share more. If they say I want to hop on the phone, then I do send them some information to watch or to look at, like the Gut Collective website or my 3 videos that I have, so that they have some information in front of them. And then we get on the call. But if they say the chat, then we just keep going through that. And it sounds like Jana Dyer gave that to her. So that's really been helpful. Then when you are working through this chat, you are narrowing in on what are their goals, what do they want? And that is the beauty of it, because then you can start making recommendations. I don't make recommendations until after, I have either given them my videos or I've let them look at the Gut Collective website, whatever is going to, jive. But that's the whole point of the health assessment, is to have somebody that's basically saying, I have health issues, I have health needs. And I don't know if the one that Melissa has or not, but I know anybody that asked me for mine, I sent you a copy. Actually, I shared it with you. You're now considered an editor. You can make a copy of it. If you mess up that copy, then you mess it up for everyone. So please make a copy of it. But that's the only way that I could share it with you guys. And so mine actually has where it turns out like a little, like a box, and they can select what they're willing to invest, what they would need for a payment plan, and what they would like to earn for income. And I do that because it tells me right away if they're interested in the opportunity. So it's just a nice part of the conversation. I'm dripping it in already. But then that's why I said earlier, like, you guys really want to become appointment setters. So the outcome is an enrollment, right? But it doesn't always work that way. So we got to then figure out, like, how do we follow up? What are we going to do? So the outcome could be an enrollment, or it could be scheduling another call. It could be scheduling another appointment. And if you guys have ever read GoPro by Eric Worre, he talks about how the whole purpose of a event is to schedule an appointment. One call, it's to schedule another call. Now the call might be to get them started, right? They enroll, then you might be scheduling more time together. Or it could be that they didn't enroll. They want more information. They need to think on it. I love that. I want to do my own research. I need to think on it. My response to that every single time is no problem, no worries. If you want to check out my payment plan, let me know, give me a thumbs up. And they always give me a thumbs up because typically it's money that's holding them back, not anything else. So then we can move forward. So that's really the whole point of that health assessment. So I want to stop that right there and let you guys ask questions about the health assessment, because then we're going to move into what is our next lead magnet. And I think Melissa is going to talk more about what we're going to do next so that we get more people to raise their hands. Toby, your hand is raised. Did you have something or want to share or chat or?
Oh, I was just gonna make a comment on the last, but you moved on and that's okay.
Oh, go ahead. Shoot, tell us.
Okay, the lead magnet that I did that I didn't really realize that I was doing a lead magnet was in a story. Like I was eating my brownie in everybody's face and telling them that it was so delicious and just like it was really good. And it was really healthy. It was only like 4 ingredients and they wanted the recipe. And so about 5 or 6 people, and then I put like 4 scoops of lean protein in it. So that gave me the opportunity to let me know if you'd like to know more about my protein.
That's awesome. You know, a great one to follow up with anybody who does a recipe, I think, is another follow up. Hey, I was making blank today and it made me think about our conversation. Would you love my recipe? You send them a recipe and then you can follow it up with, it's obvious that we're both kind of on a health journey. I'm curious, do you have any health goals that you're currently working on? Because I think it's great when people want your recipes, but let's just name the elephant in the room and segue into the conversation about, well, what are your goals? Like ask the question. So every time you are talking with someone, you want to ask a question. And if you can use plurals like goals, ideas, questions, suggestions, you can use coaching questions like, what might be your most important goal? Because if you give closed, like, do you want to lose 15 pounds in 30 days or 60 days? Well, then they only have 30 days or 60 days to choose from. But if you say, well, when would you like to hit your goal? Do you have a timeline in mind? Well, that's open-ended, right? So we learn it's coaching questions to have multiple opportunities, multiple entrances to the conversation, and then it's not closed. They can do better. And I know we've had some trainings on that. Great lead magnet. Recipes, sweets. I will tell you guys the funniest one that I've ever done. A mug full of whipped cream running down the side, and I'm drinking it. And they were like, what is that? That was the best lead magnet. My page blew up. They were like, oh my gosh. Another one was a really good one. I had a shaker, I had a coffee mug, and then I had water. And I said, these are all my drinks sitting in front of me. And I did something else with it. And I mean, it just like blew up. There was just tons of comments on it. Most of them were customers, but it still helped my algorithm. So Melissa, you want to talk next about like the next lead magnet and building your followers and friends and those steps? You kind of alluded to it, but do you want to do that part?
Yeah, so a couple of things I did want to also mention before I get into that. I think Andrea, and you and I talked about this over the weekend a little bit, but I mentioned it to a few people like Toby and Tracy, and I said something in my other group chat. about the challenges. And so I had a lot of people say, yes, they want to do an 8-day challenge. And so you guys, Andrew's group recently did one. They're going to do another one May 13th, I think, right, Andra?
An
And-
8-day, an 8-day fat burn. We're gonna do it May 13th, the Monday after Mother's Day.
Okay, so I think we should do that too. And within that way, if we make assets and stuff like that, if we plan anything in the videos, if we talk about stuff, we can all work off of each other's. Of course, ours would be over in we'll probably do it in the Gut Driven Living, or we'd make an event for it or something. Andra does hers in her group.
No, we do it as a separate event.
Oh, you do? Okay.
We do a separate group, and it's a private group for all of the coaching, and we each take a turn to coach a day, and we invite all of our paid customers to it, but to leverage an 8-day fat burn with your prospects, and that they get the one-on-one coaching. And then also it just increases customer loyalty, and orders go up because people want to have the product that they need for the jump start.
Yep, and I think everybody's gonna want to do that before summer. And so I think we could do a lot of promotion. We could work together on some stuff. So if you guys are good at that, then I think what we do for the people that are on under me for in the Hope Givers is that we make a little committee. And if you want to be on it, then we'll make a committee and have another little Zoom and plan around it. But Andrew shared with me her board already. So I already have lots of good ideas of stuff that's already been working. And I mean, this is how I did a lot of my business because it brings urgency, especially to the end of the month. Don't you want to get, you're talking to all your prospects or you're talking to the friends that are on the fence, like, you've got to get your order in. You got to get your order in so you can be a part of our thing on May 13th. If you get your order in by April 30th, you'll be a part of our thing for May 13th. It really helps with the close. It really helps with the urgency. And then they have their product on hand, just like Andrew said, and you can utilize your current customer base too.
And we're talking about that on my team training tomorrow night. So just so those of you that are on my team are like, what's going on? Well, tomorrow night, we're going to talk about it. And this will be our 3rd time doing it. We did it a little bit early last time from the previous, and we felt like our attendance was low. And so we decided to wait until we got through, we just wanted to give a little bit more space in there before we did it again. So give everybody kind of a break. But yeah, it's a good one. And we do also monthly challenges. I guess I'll just go ahead and share this with you guys now. So inside of our prospect group, we are constantly doing a challenge every single month. Sometimes we have a theme for the month, and we'll break it down by the week. We let ChatGPT help us. So this month has been, I don't know if Laura or Regina can remember. I'd have to seriously go look it up because I plan it, I do it, and then I forget about it because I just
Do you
do what I
schedule
need
it?
to do this week. Yeah, so we all take turns. Everybody helps with posting. Let me see, what is it called this month? We talk about it on our team trainings. We let everybody know what it is. So this week, as an example, is spring detox. So I think it was March into spring or something like that. No, it was April. So it was something about spring. And each week we had something. Let me go to my featured. Spring into wellness, renew, refresh, and rejuvenate. And so each week had a different theme. Week 1 was spring cleaning for wellness. Week 2 is gardening for health. Week 3 is self-care to include mindful meditation. This week is spring detox. And then what we do is we drip in the products that would fit into those, posts. Everybody goes in and they can make posts per that week. We use ChatGPT to help us break it down even more. So like this week alone, just for the detox, like Sunday, and ChatGPT did all of this for us. We gave it the topic. We told them that we wanted a full month. We wanted things for each week. And then we go back in and say, okay, break down week 4, 7 days of things that we could do for spring detox. And it literally planned the whole thing out for us. So Sunday, day 1 was what's the importance of detoxifying your body. Day 2 was gentle detox methods. Day 3 was share recipes for detox smoothies. Day 4 is highlight the benefits of herbal teas for detoxification. Day 5 was discuss the role of exercise to help detoxifying. Then it was provide resources and then wrap up the week. So we are doing more product this week because that all fits in with like an 8-day jumpstart. And then we will be advertising that we are going to do an 8-day fat burn reboot mid-May to help prepare for summer and shorts and, you know, end of the school year, Labor Day, all the graduations. So people can feel really great going into summertime. But we do that every single month. Sometimes we'll do it week by week. Sometimes we'll just do it 1 week a month. We've done it all different ways. But it definitely gets the conversation going because you have something that is value outside of just an opportunity or a product event that people can chime in, and it kind of pulls the community together. Some topics have been much more engaging than other topics. You know, some have been really kind of not really much, but we still drip it in there because it helps them to see that this is a lifestyle. It's not just about a diet or about weight loss, but it is community, it's supportive, and it's encouraging. So we've been working on this. I don't know, Regina, Laura, what, like probably 2 years.
Yes, it's been quite some time.
Okay.
So that's something, you know, that I mean, I'm more than happy to share with Melissa, and then you guys can talk as a team to see if that's something, but it definitely helps us to have things to invite people to. Because like this week we're doing giveaways as well. So people comment on the engagement, and I have to tell you guys, I did the funniest post today. I posted from the Evolve, and I did a picture of a woman's before and after, and I said, everybody can get a sample pack from me. All you have to do is guess how much she lost in pounds. Not one person has gotten it yet.
That's a good one.
And it's been a good one. Because what it did is it increased the engagement. They didn't have to ask for information or anything, but they're guessing so they can get a sample pack, and then their names. The only person that's going to get the sample pack is the person that guesses it right. Not one person has guessed it right yet.
Okay,
There's
we
like
should do
over,
that.
yeah, it was a fun one. I'll send the picture to you. You'll see why that people won't. I don't think anybody will guess it.
Don't do a common one.
So, yeah.
Don't do Robin.
No, it's literally in 30 days. It's from the Evolve Challenge. And the reason why I did that is because she's using GLPX.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, so we'll make a committee, be looking for that when we set it up. If you follow the 2024 Hope Giver chat, that's where I'll probably put that in there to make a plan for the May 13th detox. Dun dun dun. And we can talk
Yeah,
about.
and then I can share that other stuff with you. But yeah, we do those things all the time because we're just trying to get people more engaged in our groups.
Love it. Okay, so then Andrew and I, we were talking about, was it the 7 steps for closing every cell during a recession? Is that what you're talking about?
No, building the group of building your next lead magnet and building up your audience. You had said that was what you thought we should probably work on next. How to
Yes.
build your followers and friends and what to do.
Yes. So, we do want to work with you guys on that. And that's also part of, honestly, IPAs too, because you've got to build your following, you got to build your friends, you got to get into those networks. And it seems like, is this really what I'm going to spend my time on, is sending some friend requests and connecting with people and liking and commenting on their stuff? Yes. Okay. It's crazy. But you do want to be a little bit targeted in a way. Like, for example, if you know you're going to be going to your cousin's wedding at the end of May, guess what? Make sure you're connecting with all the people that will be at the wedding, because if they don't connect with you and ask you what you're doing previously by all the fun stuff you're putting on your social media right now, when they see you in person and they see you happy and they see your, beautiful skin and they see that you maybe lost some weight or, things like that, then they're for sure going to be like, okay, Tracy is not lying. Curtis really did lose 70 pounds. Because they're gonna see you in person. And then they're gonna, but because the way algorithm works and all the things, if you've already made your list and you're already connecting with them, you're already liking and commenting, you're already doing stories, you're already messaging them and checking in on them and stuff like that, it's going to help all the more with your cause and getting them closed. So I think it's super important that you make sure you understand what and how to do that. And we've talked a little bit or touched on it here, the 3x3x3 method. Are you familiar with that? Everybody's head's nodding yes, I think. And so I know Andrew and I have a little bit of a different take on it because we don't necessarily want you to rip the Band-Aid off on that fourth message. We want you to still have, we want you to have something where you're having that relationship and connecting with them. And that's where the lead magnets come in. Very helpful.
So if you guys are thinking about, okay, so what's my next lead magnet, right? If you got people that filled out the health assessment and you can see what their pain points are, guess what? They just gave you your content for the next 30 days. Has anybody thought about it that way?
No,
They answered your health assessment. They told you what their pain points are. You just got your content for the next 30 days.
Yep. And Edwina's saying, that's great.
Edwina's like, oh
And that's also where Chat GTP helps, because you go and talk to Chat GTP and you say, Chat GTP, I'm growing my Instagram following. Give me 10 points around people struggling with sleep habits or, whatever it is that they've answered. And so then it's going to give you these things. So then you can build some content around it.
So that's one thing. Okay, let's talk about the recipes. Dina knows that her audience likes snacks. So she could continue that, or she could evolve it a little bit more into maybe more of like hone it in on snacks for the Memorial weekend or whatever, Labor Day. I'm always get those wrong. Or snacks for a graduation party. Or if you know that your audience likes to go camping, what are all the things that you could take camping for them for the summer? And you could create a little kind of list of like a different idea, or you could use Canva or whatever, however you like to make your stuff. For that. So think about your audience. If your audience, and this is kind of what Crystal, and I know my team doesn't have access to that, but it's the same thing that I've trained our team on with content. If your ideal person is a woman who is over 50, is just cooking for her and her husband and isn't making meals anymore for their big family, and they're trying to keep it simple and easy, and they want things that they can quickly grab, well, then maybe your lead magnet is more towards, what they like to eat. If they are over 50, I'm just thinking about me, over 50, struggling with their inflammation and pain management, then my content is going to be about what are some ways that you can decrease your inflammation naturally, right? Things that you could do, things like that. So that helps to build, if you can think about your audience and then you can kind of think about, well, what could my next lead magnet be? Then you can have some content already. And when you share that you've got this great recipe, you're going to get more hands that come up. And you could do a recipe a week. You could do a health tip once a week. And so you've got 4 weeks of the month. If you wanted to, you could have a lead magnet every single week. And guess what? You're going to start looking like the authority on these hot tips that your audience wants. And the more that you look like an authority on these things that people want, the more they're going to raise their hand, the more they're going to get in conversation with you, the more they're going to come back to you and say, okay, I really do want this. Okay. And I would really encourage you guys to go live every single week with some tips and a lead magnet attached. Today, I went live twice. I did 2 interviews. My messenger has blown up. with
And what
people
kind of things
saying,
are you saying at the end of your or during your thing so that it's helping people communicate with you?
I like to first off make my caption for a lead magnet or for a live all about the person if I'm interviewing somebody, right? Like find out how she dropped 13 inches in 30 days. What are her favorite tips? How did she get it done? Because then it's all about somebody else. It's not about me. But if it's something that I'm giving a tip, I'll do 3 things I wish I would have known 5 years ago.
Love it.
You know, that's a quick one. But then I'm always saying in the beginning, you know, something that they can connect with and identify with and drop something in. But then I tell them that I'm going to have some extra tips and drop something into the comments so that they can get it. This last one, it was drop GLPX because I'm trying to really promote our Zoom workshop on Wednesday. So today with both of those, I said, reach out to whoever, put GLPX in the comments. You can go message them. They can get you the workshop. You can go see it. But that was their call to action this time. So the lead magnet isn't a one and done. You don't want to do a lead magnet and just keep using that same lead magnet over and over. You can recycle it, but it's good to have a variety of lead magnets so that you can learn what people are looking for. And you make a lead magnet, you do something one time with it and it's a dud. It doesn't mean that the lead magnet is bad. It might be your presentation of it, the offer of it. Okay. And the other thing I would say is when you talk about in your stories and you make a post and you go live, you've got 3 different ways that you are getting that out to people. Some people watch your stories, some people watch your lives, some people read your posts, but very rarely do people do all 3.
I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And then Melissa reached out and she asked me for some help on her lead magnet. And I was
Yep.
like, really? Melissa wants my help? Are you kidding me? She's like the guru on this. Why does she need my help?
Well, I will tell
So-
you, so much of my growth was organic. I had no idea what I was doing. I was throwing spaghetti on the wall. Luckily, the Lord let everything work out.
I have a special story to tell you about that whole Lord thing that you just said. But so did you want to share your screen?
Yep, I'll share my screen and show you what I've.
And will you want to tell them what we're doing here? Because this was her idea. This was not my idea, you guys.
So I thought it might be helpful for you guys for me to go. I gotta find my Facebook. For me to go in and have Andra help me. And so when she was giving me some tips.
I didn't get very far. She kind of stopped me and she goes, hey, let's just do this later. And I was like, what?
Okay, so this is my fall, okay? And I had done my lead magnet back in December, y'all, and it wasn't too good. I mean, it was good, but there was a couple of things that I noticed on it initially with my before and after, and I'll show that to you in a minute. But then this lead magnet that I kind of put out there this week, I had made a reel, and I'll go find it. But Andrew was like, why didn't you have more of a lead magnet or call to action here? And I was like, ah, look at that. Okay, so here's our reel.
This one?
All of you guys, yeah, this one right here. So all of you guys, this was the, remember the other day when Lindsay asked for before and afters from our Oklahoma City chat? She asked everybody to drop their before and after. Well, I just saved
yeah.
them to my phone and I got some trending music and I put them in this thing.
That was so smart.
Yeah, ever found yourself stuck in the loop? All start Monday, right? And I mean, I like
and then
that
I have
music, but
another
that's
night.
I like rap sometimes. It doesn't cuss. But I never asked him, I never put a lead magnet in there. All I said is drop plan, and I never did anything else. And I thought, so Andrew was like, you gotta offer something for free or do something. I think. So Andrew, what do you think? Tell me what you're
So, I don't think you can stop it. So I'm trying to read your caption because the caption is really good. I mean, that's what we got to read, right?
Mhm.
So let me look here.
I think I did stop it, maybe.
This is truly authentic, you guys. We did not plan this. This is just like me looking at it for the first time. Well, I don't think that this is like bad by any means. I mean, you've got drop a plan to learn about my journey. What you could have tweaked it to is you could have had in the beginning maybe something that could have stopped the scroll even a little bit more, but the question is good because that does stop the scroll. But the call to action, if you wanted to turn it into a lead magnet, could have been drop plan in the comments to grab a quick drop a plan in the comments to get a personalized recommendation to kickstart your journey today.
Yep, I like that.
So then they're going to get something for free. So, and I would say that drop plan in the comments to get a free personalized recommendation to stop the Monday loop or to kickstart your journey.
I like that better. It's different than having them to come learn.
Right, because learn has an implication that they're going to get educated, that they might even have to pay for it. There's an implication there that they're not going to get something for free right away. So the other thing you could do is drop plan in the comments to stop the Monday loop and start your journey. But I would put in there to grab it free, something like that.
Yep. So see how the difference is, just changing it up a little bit. And so if you did do a lead magnet yourself, just like Andrew said, it may not be that it was bad or anything like that. It just might be, one could be timing, but two, it could be just a little bit of a tweak that you need to do on your call to action or your offer. Because I know I saw where Lindsay said she did a recipe, but she didn't feel like hers attracted many. And I know Ashley had put over in our chat in April Rising Stars that she put one out there and she hasn't had any comments. So I think we may have to just go back, right?
Yeah, is anyone open to getting a little bit of a critique real quick?
I didn't.
Lindsay, do you want, Dean is like, please, I want one. You go ahead, Melissa, you can show your screen and go, or maybe, because I
Yeah.
don't think Dina can, but you can show the screen and go to Dina's.
Okay.
I'm fine with volunteering because I've been doing it a while, but you could also, if you feel like someone new could benefit, it looks like Lindsay
Do it
says
real
she can.
fast. Lindsay said
Okay.
too as well. I don't see
Yeah.
everybody, so.
Okay.
Okay, Lindsay said too.
Is it okay if I jump on real quick and just talk instead of typing?
Yeah, do it. That's what this is for.
So I took a stab at doing a different post. I took your recommendation that my face needs to be up there, right? And that was
Mhm.
important to me because I have a tendency to hide behind the screen. So if you go to my Facebook, I did the recipe one today, which I'm actually excited about because I heard back from somebody that I know is on her own fitness journey or health journey, I should say. And she reached out today and was like, hey, how's your stuff going? Like, what are you doing? And so that was good. That one right
Oh,
there.
not
Go
That
back
one,
up.
okay. Okay, this one.
this
back
one
up.
right here? No,
With
up.
up a little. Where
With-
you see me and I'm standing there. Up more.
Oh, okay, so it was the real.
Yeah, the real.
Oh, it
Okay,
was
But if you
real.
look, I just looked at it. I had 200 something views.
That's
That's
awesome. Way to go, sister.
10 mindset strategies that help me lose 10 pounds in 45 days. Oh, look, and it's typing it out slowly.
So people have to watch it.
Yep.
Like it. Can you show me the caption?
Yeah. Thanks. We're all
And while
learning.
you're getting that caption, I just want to say also that Lindsay, by doing this, she's got her people who are already on product. Like her Aunt Susie today said, I was really glad that you posted about those tips because I'm a perfectionist too. And so that's a thing to think about. Like we are keeping our options open and filling our funnel, but we're also consistently serving the customer base. So it's fine if they're the ones who are commenting too. She didn't comment on the reel, but she commented in our success chat today. And so that's adding another layer of support to your people.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was telling Laura Johnson the other day, I said, hey, let's go look to see where my comments are coming from. And I think they were 90% customers. And she's like, oh, that makes me feel so much better. I said, yeah, like that's who's commenting. They're keeping my feed going. They're keeping my algorithm high and they're also learning stuff. I tend to forget what Dina just said. So, I mean, it's such a good reminder.
So celebrating the
So-
double digits, 10 pounds, comment the
What
strategy.
you could have done, comment which strategies you use to keep, okay. So on a reel, something that you could do is celebrating double digits today, take out the word those, have it less passive, more active language. Celebrating double digits today, 10 pounds. Before you go, save and share.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, before you
That's
go,
helpful.
save and share so that they know to save it because you get more views when something is saved or shared. And then drop the number of strategy in the comments of which one you need the most, or
Yeah.
what number did you need to see today? 1 through 10, drop in the comments.
Oh, I like that. And this
So
is just
you're
another-
telling them that, you're telling them what to do. So it's more, just narrow it in just a little tiny bit, like
Yeah,
just
I
a
like what
slight
you
little
said about actually, because what you're saying is I would actually pinpoint not what they're being successful at, so to speak, but what they're needing help with. And then that's where you
Yeah.
kind of segue in. So I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. That's really helpful.
Yeah. And then those people that liked it, you go over and you comment, you send them a message. Hey, thanks so much for liking my reel today. Mindset work is sometimes 80% of the struggle. I'm so curious. Would you like my list of 10 in here? And then they say, yes, I would love that because then I don't have to go find your reel. Then you have your 10 like typed down on a Word document, or you could have it on a Canva. You could, if you can see all 10 on your reel, you could screenshot it and then they get it, right? You go to the end of your video that you have on your phone for your reel.
Yeah.
You take a picture, it's you, there's the 10, you send it to them, and then you could continue the conversation there. I'm always looking for feedback. Which one of these was the most helpful for you? Oh, setting goals and committing to achieving them. It's really hard for me. Gosh, I can totally relate with that. I think that's one of the reasons why I really love the program that we have, is because we can set goals, you know, and together we can work on them. I'm just curious, what is your goal that you currently have?
That's great. That's
I
so
love it.
helpful. Thank you. Yeah.
I also think just with this background, you could take a picture of that little owl and say, how many of you have this?
My sweet grandma made that when she passed away. I got her owl, and I have a cool mid-century modern house. So the owl survives, it lives on.
Yeah, you could. And yeah, these are, I mean, this is really great because you've got what your reel is about right there across your face. Yeah, it's really good. It's really nice. Way to go, Lynn. Way to go.
Thanks.
All right, I'm looking at our time. Let's see, Melissa, what do we have? I'm looking at our notes because otherwise I get off track.
I know, I do too.
So for Melissa, for the feedback, hopefully you guys are kind of seeing like a trend, right? It's telling them something that they're gonna get. It's giving them like the direction of what to do. Passive language is great. It's not that it's bad, but active language is more, it's going to get more engagement. If you want to, you can actually take an entire post that you're going to make and you can go put it into ChatGPT and you can tell it to rewrite it with active voice. You can tell it to rewrite it in a shorter way. You can, I mean, you can say, rewrite it with more excitement. And it will literally rewrite it. So if you have an idea, like, I don't know how many times I've got ideas of what I want to put in my post, but I just need some help, like add 3 tips to this and then it will, but then I make it sound like me and I get rid of quotation marks and I get rid of like the, you know, because it's just people know what you're doing. So that kind of helps you a little bit. Let's see. So next steps was think about your next lead magnet so that you can be reaching out to your people. I'm trying to think, what was our homework? Oh, increasing your audience with intentional IPAs. Thinking about your lead magnet for next month. And then you guys just got done with an opportunity event. So it's the follow-up, which I'm sure Melissa will talk about. For my group, our GLPX event is on Wednesday, which Tracy is our guest star on that. Super excited. We just want to make sure that we're following up with that GLPX event because there's no reason to have an event if you're not going to follow up. Remember, the event is the opportunity to create an appointment.
Yep. And
That's
what
all
I
it
would
is.
say is if you have customers that missed our opportunity event we did on Thursday the 18th, you guys are welcome to go watch Andra's, right, Andrew? Is it on Zoom?
Yeah, it's going to be a Zoom and it's not an opportunity event.
No,
It
it's
is
just
a
product.
product with, well, it's going to be the same thing that you guys did, same exact everything. It's going to be the same. I just have to go in and put Tracy's picture in the presentation, not the other person's.
Yeah.
But it's not an opportunity like what you guys did tonight. It's a GLPX product event.
Yahoo! I can talk about GLPX all day long.
Yep. And that's why so many customers are onboarding with it. But we do want partners too. So you've got to get your foot in the door, get them educated, get them on the product, then build a relationship, get them, you know, sharing, and then get them to the next thing. So.
What questions? It's 8:30. Want to honor everybody's time, but you know, we're here for you guys. We're not, you know, if there's something like tonight made me think that I need blank. We would like to hear that from you guys, right? So as we were talking or as we were looking at something, did anybody have all of a sudden like, I need help with blank? Because we're always trying to think what should be next.
I need help with being motivated and consistency. And the interview I did with Tracy helped kick me in gear. Tracy is awesome at motivating.
And she came up with an idea for her and I to do a Talk Friday. And that encouraged me. She is just an inspiration. But my consistency this week, I was really down. And our interview really enlightened me a lot. Her persona is contagious.
That's awesome. I'm going to push you a little bit more, Edwina, because I don't know you very well, but something that I think I already know about you based on what you just said is if you have an event that you're looking forward to or something that you're working towards, does that keep you motivated and focused on what you need to do to get to that event?
I think it does, because I've been so consumed with my parents. And it seems like all my focus is on the next doctor's appointment, the next thing I have to do for my parents. And it's taken my focus from my business. And, like last month, I had an awesome month last month. And this month is slack because we've been at so many doctor's appointments that I missed our training today at noon with Crystal on building the audience. And because I was sitting in doctor's offices and I couldn't have my phone there with me going on. So yes, I think that I need to have that focus and not working anymore and everything being more focused on my parents. It's been harder for me to stay motivated.
Okay. And we're not going to problem solve what you need right now. So I just put some things down. I've got some ideas, Melissa and I can talk. Who else? What did tonight make you think you might need? Gina, did you have something? No. Okay.
I appreciated the Chat GPT tips. I think I've been really hesitant to use Chat GPT for a couple of reasons. I think every time I've tried to use it, it doesn't sound authentically like me. And I've been trying to use it to, like, if I were to post something, I always change it because it just doesn't, it sounds foreign. So I really like the ideas of using it as a launching place where I can use the ideas. So I really love how you had it break down for the month, like what you shared for your detox. And I plan to do something similar to that to get my content planned better. Because that is something I've always wanted, is to just be that far ahead that I have things already planned, that I'm not having to think every day or every couple of days what I'm going to post. I've gotten a little better, but I think that will help. And then I just had a quick question of, I heard lead magnet next month, but lead magnet every week. Which one was it? Just to clarify.
I think just your next lead magnet of what you want to use. So everybody might have a slightly different timeline, but you want to be working on a lead magnet that's going to really help your audience.
I will tell you, if you're on,
get you into more messages, right, Melissa?
yeah, and I would tell you, if you're on Instagram at all, your lead magnet is almost the same thing every freaking day. Like if I watch people on Instagram, they offer things and it's the same thing. And every time it's just a little bit of a different reel, or it's a little bit of a different spin, or a little bit of a different pain point of the problem of the ideal customer or whatever. And then they're always saying, well, comment the word plan or the word learn or whatever. And it's the same thing because I've done it a few times. Just see. And they're sending you the same thing. But to kind of help you, but that's their lead magnet. And it's usually an invitation to a Zoom or an invitation to a something, a health assessment or whatever.
Thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry, it was still a little vague. Okay, what I'm hearing is time blocking. What are my priorities to move my business forward? Some content planning, and maybe how to use some Chat GPT. Anything else that our conversation tonight made you think, ooh, I really need to work on that, or I need help with that?
Yeah, Melissa's going to help me with my health assessment because it's been a hot mess. So, but we're going to work on that. So,
Lindsay, did you have something?
Yeah, I really am trying to kind of pinpoint who my audience is. So I don't know if you guys have any tips. Obviously, it's what's getting liked, what's getting commented. I mean, some of it is just being aware of that, but I don't know if you guys have any other tips on how to really hone in on our audience to help create that content.
I have a lot. Just because of professional development. So I'm going to throw something out there. I'm going to write that down, Lindsay. I'm not ignoring. I'm taking notes. I have a Google Doc for Melissa and I. I'm going to ask you guys who in here is doing some form of personal development every single day. Okay. So whatever it is that you feel like you are maybe struggling with the most, I want you to go find somebody that you could follow that might help you with that. Okay, so I'll give you some examples. If you, so there's Bob Heilig, how to have transformational conversations. Melanie Mitro, chic influencer, how to recruit youth systems. Katie Urza, she talks about telling your story. How do you, do some content planning? Kimberly Olson is all about social media, how to know your ideal target audience. Who else, Melissa?
Well, I know that a lot of the social media stuff that Crystal's been learning from is with Brian Fryer and Rob Sperry.
Okay, Rob Sperry is great.
Mhm.
But do free stuff.
Yes.
You can do Darren Hardy.
Okay.
He's a lot of mindset and like
Mindset work,
business stuff.
motivation.
John Maxwell.
Leadership.
And don't forget Tara Renzi, who just was our motivational speaker.
Oh yeah. At
Social
conference.
emotional intelligence.
Thank you.
And then why am I forgetting? Ed Milet. Some people really like Ed Milet. Some people don't. But I would just say, go find one of those people, watch them a little bit, see if that what they talk about speaks to you and it's something that you need. And then just each day, like you're putting your makeup on, you're getting ready for bed, you're cooking dinner, you're doing the laundry. It doesn't have to be sitting down with nothing else. It can be while you're doing some other things. And the reason why I bring it up, you guys, is because some of these things that you're talking about, they just take time to get better at. And if you can do 10 minutes of personal development on something each day, it's going to help build your confidence and build your skill set. So if you're not doing just 10 minutes of personal development, think about this. I was just throwing this in there and I didn't even tell Melissa about this, but you got to remember to be a leader of yourself before you can be a leader of others. And those of you that saw my presentation, where that comes from is leadership training that Steve Elder, who used to be with Singular, did with us. And he just, talked a lot about you have to be able to lead yourself before you can lead a team. And just really great things, easy things to do. Make sure you're moving, make sure you're eating well, make sure that you're feeding your brain and your heart something positive every single day. So just make sure, like, Edwina, I guess that made me think of it for you because I know I can get sucked into it. I know we have some people that are sick. We've got people that have parents to take care of. We have people that have spouses that have things going on. We have kids that have stuff going on. So if we don't take 15 minutes each day, move your body for 5, feed your brain and your heart for 10, like if you don't do something for 15 minutes each day, it's going to be really hard. So that's what I want to end with. So Melissa prayed over me and she doesn't even know this, so I'm just totally telling on her. She prayed over me when we had our conversation because she could tell that I was really, I think she could tell I was struggling. I wasn't struggling, but she could tell that there were some things that I was having a hard time with. And she prayed over me to have more balance, to help my marriage, to bring people to our whole team. She prayed over our team, to help us to all like have the people coming to us. So I told her that we had stopped praying on our team, and I don't know why. It just we did, and it's been kind of feeling empty and weird, and I don't like it. And so I wanted to tell you guys what happened from that power of prayer. So I all of a sudden had 4 enrollments. That was the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened, my husband, before we went to bed Saturday night, said, "Honey, would you like to go to church on Sunday morning?" I was like, yeah, of course I do. Cause like that just totally fills my bucket. He has not asked me that in over a year.
Wow.
When we went to church, the topic was marriage and how it's hard and the choices that you make and the things that you have to do. And then we ended up spending the whole day together, and Laura was really wonderful, and we rescheduled her call, and that's what I needed to focus on. So business got better, I got better, marriage got better because of that one prayer. And it just was a reminder. And I started doing my personal development every single morning again. I started making sure I was moving my body again, and I was making sure that I wasn't going without food. So I just think it's so, so important that when we're serving so many other people, whether that's in our personal life or in our business, if we don't take some time for ourselves, it's really, really easy for us to get burnt out. So training is great. Learning is good. Action is the most important. And even being a leader of yourself, you guys, it's not in theory. You got to go do it. You got to actually take the action to go do it. So thank you, Melissa, for praying over me because it totally changed my whole entire week.
Yay. Well, that's awesome. Well, and I'm going to close us out in prayer tonight too. So,
Awesome.
all
Sounds
right.
good.
So, dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you right now. We just thank you so much for this time spent, Lord. We thank you for this time for us learning. I just pray, Lord, that you help us to go put into action everything that we've been learning, the things that we've already done. But, Lord, that our action comes to fruition, Lord, that those actions actually bear fruit. Lord, I just thank you for us laying this down before you and letting you know that we are here to learn. Lord, I thank you so much for our amazing teachers. I thank you for all the participants. Lord, thank you so much for Andrea. Thank you for the answered prayer. You are the God of answered prayer, and you are the God of restitution. Lord, you are going to help bring things for the better for all of us. So we just continue to pray that, and we thank you for this precious day. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right. Well, you guys have a great evening. I'm going to post the recording for everybody.
Awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Perfect.